Good evening and welcome to the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League. Round 2 takes us to Road Atlanta, USA. I am Tom Cairns in the contrary position. Alongside me is Jim Cunningham, who will take us for a ride of this beautiful, beautiful course. Following the first round that we had last week at Interlagos, where Johan Annette, who's not around this evening, won out very, very comfortably over the likes of Krish Patel and Yunus Amal, which takes us to the championship standings of the first round of the season. 43 points in the bag for Annette, then it's 42 for Patel and 41 for Yunus. Tony Jimenez, the former champion, in 4th place on 40 points. We've got Nick Nagel, the reigning champion, 5th place with 39. Is when we've got Brad Fulliger, Mehmet Taski, Alexander Schutzer, Andy Flynn, and Luca Ferrani running out the top 10. Then we've got the likes of Scott Taylor and Syke Willems, Simon Fessi, Marcello Caruso, Kuchi Ito, Giovanni Solito, Adam Talsma, Richard Van Veen, Gregor Hotala, Eric Scaldaveri, Miguel Gutierrez, Max Bartolotta, Dorian Arroyo, Robert Ridgway, Ludwig Ranson, Asaya Lopez, Alejandro Cesena, Stephen Milne, Paul LeMay, and Max Chiquino rounding out the top 30 drivers. As far as the teams are concerned, RMS Apex are at the top of the pile with 43 points. They've got Krish Patel and Brad Fulliger competing for them, but it's the highest driver's score that is applied to.
That's actually not the case. Both, if it has two drivers, they have a system for that. Both drivers actually get their points added together, and then that's ranked, and that's how they get their points. I just found that out last week myself.
And so Comunidad Alien are on 42 points as well. Then it's JPFun 67 on 41, tied with Scuderia Racing Forces. And we've got Artendelia Red on 39. And then we've got Unity Racing White, Line GP, Turkish Irish Formula Team, and Sim Design Yellow and RS Racing Bloodline rounding out the top 10. But more on the teams a little bit later. As far as the calendar is concerned, so far this season we've been to Interlagos. We go to Road Atlanta this evening. Then it's to Red Bull Ring next week, followed by Mugello and Hockenheim, Portimao, and then we return to stateside at VIR, and it's to Watkins Glen in New York. There we go back to Europe at the Hungaroring in Hungary, followed by Imola in Italy, Nürburgring in Germany, and Suzuka being the venue for the final round of the season on June the 7th. Let's get a word from Jim Cunningham, who's been waiting patiently to get a word on how he thinks tonight is going to go. Jim, good evening.
Good evening, Tom. I literally just found out about that scoring thing, and I thought that was pretty pertinent for the team. Good to be here with you, man. I think Road Atlanta, obviously, great place you think of, especially for sports car racing in the United States. It's going to be interesting to see how these cars get around here with the they've obviously raced, I'm sure they raced Indy cars here, and I don't think this place ever hosted a Formula One race. You probably would know that, being the historian that you are.
Well, it's definitely not hosted a Formula One race. It's perhaps too narrow, and it's very unlikely Formula One would come here, to be honest with you. But I think other than that, it's a good circuit. I do like the notorious section of the course, particularly at the S's, which the drivers will be very mindful of, especially on the opening lap, because as far as the briefing is concerned, no active overtakes until after turn 7 on the first lap. No 3 wide for the entire first lap. No lapping in the middle of turn 1 and the entire S's. If you are lapped, give way before or after. If you are lapping, sit back and be patient. Incidents are very common in turn 1, so please be careful for those who are competing. The blind turn 2 and 3 is not really a place to pass. I couldn't agree more. Be aware of the concertina effect into the slow corners early in the race and avoid speed differentials. And do not try to be faster or slower than the cars around you. Keep a constant gap to the car in front. Avoid sudden and abrupt movements. No lane changes, no hard braking. Brake early and gently. Early and hard is bad, just like braking late. If you get a black flag, you must serve the slow down offline on a straight without hindering other cars. You're not supposed to keep your position if you get a slow down with a car behind you. And please remember that driving off track voluntarily or getting those 1Xs or incidents, if you want to call them, is strictly prohibited. And turn 3 and especially the chicane are possible trouble spots.
Well, all right. Well, you were reading away there. We had somebody crash into the wall hard in the qualifying run. as we're about to finish up here, closing out, about a minute left or so.
And we've got 54 drivers who are waiting to pounce. There are a few who were not around last week. Tony Moreno, who's competing for the Communidad Alien team, he's one of those that didn't compete last week, but he's looking to get his season up and running. Peruzzo Legaza is also in. He's running in 47th place at the moment, so that tells you about how much we have of the grid. I mean, considering the size of the grid actually on the straight, in terms of the grid spots, this could end up going all the way back to turn 10B to find the 54th place driver on the grid.
Now, that'd be kind of funny if it went over the hill and back to turn 10A and B. That'd be funny.
Well, for the sake of bands, for the sake of bands, once I've run through the grid, we can maybe briefly see where the last driver is, and that way we know what is happening. I think that might explain some drivers may decide to start from the pit lane or from the back of the grid. Michael LeMay, it has not yet set a lap time, hence why he's down in 54th position. So let's hope he actually does make the race in this one.
Yeah, they just finishing up here, I think. Yep. So we're just last couple of cars here on track. Then that'll be it.
As we focus on Kiichi Ito.
That's Jimenez coming off.
That's Jimenez off the. That's turn 7 where he's gone off the circuit, and now we switch to Adam Talsma, who's hoping to improve on where he ended up last week.
Yeah, he's seems to be showing strong, faster. You notice that pretty green and black car, you see it in traffic well, but seems to be really performing well this season so far.
And last week, as far as Adam Talsma's race in Brazil is concerned, he ended up 17th.
Yes.
From away 27 points in the process.
Yeah, not a bad run. I mean, that's this field is deep and tough, that's for sure.
It was 50 cars that competed last week, or registered to join the grid. Now remember, the iRacing algorithm works that only a maximum of 60 cars can compete in the same session.
Getting close.
So yeah, we are running close, aren't we? But the session has completed its conclusion, and so we can run down on the grid once it does transition over into the race. So here is the grid, and it's Brad Fulliger on pole position ahead of Nick Nagler. Then we've got Ludovic Ransson and Max Bartolotta on the second row of the grid. Chris Patel and Scott Taylor are on the third row, followed by Andy Flynn and Rob Ridgway. Then we've got Tony Jimenez and Max Giacchino running out the top 10. Stefan Donover starting in 11th place ahead of Yunus Amel, who's going for another podium finish. Josu Lechignania in 13th ahead of Marius Anderson. We've got Luca Ferrari and Justin Fields on row 8. Mehmet Taski and Abel Sanchez are on row number 9, followed by Miguel Gutierrez in 19th ahead of Marcelo Caruso. Clark Williams and Kevin Byland on row 11. Then we've got Adam Talsma and John McKenzie on row 12. Patrick Williams and George Taylor are on row 13, followed by Paul LeMay and Stu Milne. And it's Eddie Amos and Kiichi Ito on row number 15. Pedro Galisteo in 31st position, ahead of Edwin Gonzalez. Then it's Aiton Lammers and Dorian Arroyo on row 17, followed by Jerde Blanco and Mark Almanza on row 18. Eric Scaldeveri and Giovanni Solito on the 19th row, running out the top 40 are Juan Jose Ortega and Matthew Gracie. Hache Cabusuelo and Asea Lopez on row 21, followed by Paul Distelli and Richard Van Veen. Mark Altlovs and Robert Walton in 45th and 46th. Then it's Peruzzo Legaza and Patrick Rowlands in 47th and 48th. Then we've got James Rush and Tony Moreno in 49th and 50th, and followed by Filippo Casey and Shota Yokobori. And on the 27th and final row of the grid are Adam Sands and Michael LeMay.
I have to say that's pretty impressive. That's a lot of cars to say.
Let's see where Michael LeMay is at the back, Jim, just very, very quickly. I want to see where he is. There he is up.
He is halfway back to 10B. Oh my
goodness.
goodness.
The lights are coming on now. So we are good to go here at Road Atlanta. No active overtakes in the first 7 corners of the racetrack. Lights are on. Lights off, it's go. And it's a good reaction from the field as Brad Fulliger gets off the line. I just hope they've read the briefing before this race has begun so that they know active overtakes are prohibited. But there we see Fulliger leading the way, and it's essentially a convoy all the way around the first half of this race, first half of the lap of this race. But it's Fulliger who leads the way ahead of Nagler and Ransom. It's Bartolotta in 4th position, followed by Patel and Taylor as they all make their way through the S's.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to get through there, so they've done well to get to that part of the track without trouble. This is another zone that could end up causing them some trouble right here.
And onto the back straight they come towards turns 6 and 7. It looks like everyone has behaved themselves so far. And now they can start overtaking on the exit of turn 7. And they are on lead straight away as they come towards turns 10A and 10B. Now, are we going to see Nagler attack Fulliger at the end of the straight? Fulliger goes defensive. Nagler to the outside. But I think Fulliger's going to hold on here. There's a long way to go. 37 laps it is around this this race, which will be 151 kilometers long. But so far, we'll see a lot of action during the course of this one. And there we see Nagler on the inside of Fulliger for a moment, having to tuck back in. But we've got a battle for 4th position. That's Christian Patel going through. Also, we thought on Max Bartolotta. And it's going to be really intense here. I just hope we don't get too many incidents. But with it being 54 cars, I think we kind of have to expect we're going to see a lot of drivers tripping over themselves.
Yeah, I would think so. At certain points here, there's just too many cars on the track. There's bound to be some. A couple of really good battles here, though, right here. This is a big pack right here battling.
Ranson has spun on the exit of the S's, so he's the first casualty there. Damage done to the car. That'll be him off into the pit lane at the end of the second lap for sure. You can just see he's having to fight the car here. The suspension is broken at the moment, so he will need to come back in and make sure he doesn't trip over anyone. And someone else has gone off the track further on ahead at turn number 6. But there we see the leaders coming down the back straight, and that's a change of lead for Nick Nagler ahead of Brad Fulliger. So that is the reigning champion going on by ahead of the pole sitter. Now, are we going to see Nagler pull away, or will Fulliger fight back from there?
Emmett Tasky just had a little moment, it looks like.
Oh, yeah, not half. The front wing and the rear wing's breaking. It's basically a Formula Ford car.
It is a Formula Ford car right now. Yeah, hit it off the track there.
Offline. Remember, yeah, he's offline there.
Yeah, that's a mess. That car's for a bad.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of cars actually affected towards the back end of the field, Jim, as well. So we'll come to that in a moment. That is Nagler leading Fulliger, and in 3rd place right now there's Krish Patel, and it's Max Bartolotta, Scott Taylor. Robert Ridgway is now up into 6th place.
Right,
Andy Flynn 7th, Stefan Dobbler up 3 positions from 11th to 8th, and it's Eunice Emil in 9th position up from 12th. And there we look at Luca Ferrani, who's going to get a tap here. Or has he made an error by himself? Oh, no.
I think it was on his own. We're going to have to see it from
another
angle.
Was.
Another angle, but I believe he was on his own there. Trying to figure out what. There's just a bunch of separate incidents. I thought this was going to be. I thought there was going to be a bunch of incidents, but there's not. Here's what happened to Kuji Ito real quick. And I'm back to the.
That's Kuchi Ito coming together there. I think that was Jerde Blanco he collided.
See if I can find a better angle. I don't know if this was part of it or not. Oh, there was somebody already in the track.
That was Pedro Galisteo, actually. So it was one of the other Spaniards in the field. We've got plenty of them here tonight. And there we look at Patrick Williams.
I think he's the
who
one
goes
that was
wide.
spun under the bridge. Yes, and he's the one that. Let's switch camera. See, he's trying to get out of the way, and then somebody's going to launch over him.
Oh, yeah. So that's why Ferrani ended up going into the barrier on the far side.
Yeah. And then this all transpired afterwards. The after result of that.
There's Galisteo and Ito coming together.
Oh. All right, let's get back up here to the action up front. This is where the actual...
Oh, that's another one. That is Abel Sanchez, who has come together. Didn't quite see who it was that he collided with on the pit straight. There was a very bizarre incident. Might have been Filippo Casey or Aiton Lammers, who he came together with.
Thinking possibly Lammers there, yeah, maybe. This is after the fact, isn't it?
Yeah, stay out of the way of everyone, which was the right thing to do.
Yeah, I can't seem to find where it actually happened at. Oh, here we go. Please.
This is live images that we're seeing of Sanchez just staying out of trouble, really.
Oh, yeah.
Of the pack.
Wow, okay.
And back at the front, or back towards front-ish. And look at Miguel Gutierrez running in 16th. Now this is the battle for 5th position. Dodderer in front of Scott Taylor and Andy Flint. Taylor going to the inside at turn number 1. So he's through. Flint is also heading through the open door. Up into 6th place he go. Oh, well, no, sorry, Taylor didn't get by Dodderer. He tucks back in and allowed Flint to go on through. So that is Flint through into 6th position. Having a better run so far. We're on lap number 6. The lap times are going to, the laps are going to go very quickly around here, even quicker than what we had at Interlagos 7 days ago.
Yeah, this place. I mean, these cars are just slightly a minute 10 or so to do a lap around this place. Minute 12, so they will fly by for sure.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of back markers for the leaders to get through, so that could be something to look out for later. But Paul LeMay, so far in this race, 8 positions he's made up. Edwin Gonzalez, the car in front of him, has made up 14. So Gonzalez up from 32nd to 18th. We've got plenty of cars further down the field who've made up a ton of places. None more than Michael LeMay, up from 54th to 34th so far.
Wow. Good for Michael. Yeah, he's definitely on the move. It's good to see Michael racing. You know, we don't get to see him near as much as we see his brother Paul. So it's always good to see him come out and race with us.
So the drivers just continuing to filter their way through the S's. And so far, we've also got Pedro Galisteo, who's had his 2nd incident of the race so far. Looks like he might have gone back into pit lane, or via the pit lane, because he's got some form of damage to his car. But the drivers who have gone no further so far in this, they are James Rush, who we lost on the first lap, and Telsman and Jose Lajinanya are also not circulating. But there we look at Rob Ridgway attacking Chris Patel for 3rd position.
He is. This is Patel is under fire here for sure, and right behind him we got Ridgway and Andy Flint back here riding each other hard.
Down the hill towards the end of lap number 7, beginning lap 8 now, and there we look at Patel holding 3rd place. Another one of those gunning for another podium finish after a strong drive in Brazil. He's determined to make up for what was a torrid last season for Patel with all the incidents he's been involved in. Robert Ridgway, who's another one of the American drivers in the field. We've got 3 Americans in the top 5 so far in this, which is good to see for those on home turf. I don't know if any of them are from near Road Atlanta. I'll let those in the chat maybe tell us that particular information. If you are in the live chat, including Photo Racer, who's going to say go, 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 do get involved and we'll answer any questions that you so wish for us to answer. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and that way you won't miss a thing, including this particular series being broadcast on JP Broadcasting.
It's it's interesting that you would describe Patel's season last year as bad. I on the other hand saw him. It seemed like he found some great speed and was more up to the pace, and last season and was in contention a lot more. Sometimes he didn't yield the results he wanted, but he he certainly, I thought, was in contention more than in the past. And looks like Paul LeMay just had an incident. See what happened to Paul.
This is over at turn 6.
Going to be self-inflicted.
So no, this is over at, yeah, it is over at turn 6 and then turn 7. And he spins. At least he stayed out of everyone's way.
Dish.
He's having to wait for the traffic to go on through, so that's a nightmare for Paul and May.
Oh, yeah, that's all.
His brother Michael, who we spoke about earlier, he's still in 34th position behind Prucha Legarza. And there we see Miguel Gutierrez. Fernando Lep's car has just gone through, and he's now in 14th position, having a respectable drive in this one. And then we're back at the front. That's Nick Nagler, who still has Brad Fulliger on his tail. Fulliger's done well to stay in touch with Nagler at this point. Kevin Byland has gone down the order now after that strong beginning for him.
Yeah, that was a strong run.
What has it been up to, the Swede?
Just an off track, I think. Oh, no.
Well, no, it's more than an off track.
Yeah, it clearly turned into more than that. This is after the fact, though. Here, this is...
He's been in the barrier as Kevin Byland.
I cannot find anything before that, though. But, yeah, clearly he had tore that car up already.
It's a shame for Kevin Byland. For now, goes no further in this. Marius Anderson, the Danish driver in the 43, chasing after Tony Jimenez, who's down one position from where he had started the race from. He's determined to make up for lost ground. Clark Williams is the next driver behind, who was one of those that dropped out at Interlagos a week ago. He's looking to make up for lost time and get some points on the board.
Yeah, nice little group right there as well.
Through goes Stefan Dodderer. That is Scott Taylor, I believe, who's just got through there.
That's correct. Yep.
And now they've completed their 10th lap. Those have just gone over the line. Nagler's gone a little bit further in this. And he's on lap number 11. Approaching the third waypoint in this race. The laps are going to tick on by. Machado Caruso overtakes Clark Williams and is up into P12. Whilst we ride on board with Andy Flynn chasing after his compatriot Robert Ridgway. And for 4th position as they go over the curb. And that's Flint in the barrier. And a dangerous Concertina further back.
Oh, we got a car upside down on its bonnet and everything here.
Yeah, that is Yunus Amal. It's Yunus Amal he's collided with, and it's race over for the pair of them.
Oh my goodness. See what happened here from a different camera angle.
It was following Ridgway in the turbulent air.
Yeah,
both went wide.
But he got into those bumps, and then, oh my gosh, and Yunus Amal just launched off of him. Wow.
Just hope both drivers were okay after that, because that was rather frightening to watch.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy, I have to say. Yeah, if you had your force feedback turned up on that one, that could hurt.
Yeah, well, a change of lead has come with Brad Fulliger now ahead of Nick Nagler. So staying behind him has paid dividends. Oh, he's gone wide though. Oh, I thought Fulliger's going in the same way as what happened to Andy Flint and Yunus Amal. That was so close to being an enormous accident there.
To me, these cars, that's a really dangerous spot there as well. Oh, we see somebody just tore up. That was Byland.
That was was it Byland that's gone into the barrier? That's a shame.
Yeah, I believe it was.
It is Byland who's gone into the barrier, but we just saw Nagler go back to the rear of Fulliger for the lead.
Yeah, they're flipping around back there right now as we speak.
That's Nagler back through on Fulliger. He did so at turn 10A. And Fulliger's coming back at him though, so this battle's far from over. They've got a huge gap behind Chris Patel, so they can afford to fight amongst themselves, these two. Fulliger and Nagler, but the trouble they're going to have now is that they're going to go through back markers, and this could get very, very, very tricky, because you never know with the back markers if they end up sliding off the circuit, catching a bump, and catching the leaders out, that's when things can absolutely take a huge turn for the worse. Remember Sebring?
Oh, yeah. Well, and this course is very similar in the sense that there's a lot of really rough, bumpy spots. And like you said, somebody trying to get out of the way and do something good catches a bump, and next thing you know, they're tearing up other people's cars. But we just had a big incident back here, it looks like.
Yeah, Ortega's found the what? No, sorry, isn't it Ortega?
Yeah,
no, it's not. Clark Willing.
There's more in there than that, though. Look, hold on, it ain't over.
Ooh. Ortega, what does he do here? Oh, he's come back onto the path, and someone else has spun in sympathy there.
Yep. I think that's Moreno. No, is that
in the black and green, that would be.
There was Marino was involved in that. There were several cars involved in it.
May has also been involved in this in the race as well. He's dropped back considerably. That's almost coming together there. I think the driver in that green and black, he just locked the rear brakes. He's locked the rear brakes because he was focusing on the spinning car ahead of him and not his entry into the corner.
And these two back up here at the front real quick. This is turning into a nice little exchanging places kind of battle, but I tell you what, it's still a little ways behind him. I was going to say it's going to invite Chris Patel to the party. About 6 seconds back of the leader here.
It's a big gap to make up, though. When you look at the pace that Nagler and Fulliger have been producing, it's going to take an instant for them to. Yeah, go on.
No, I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, what you were. It's just that it's probably going to take a little incident or at least some really heavy battling to bring him back into the race there.
There is Nagler and Fulliger, who start their 15th lap. I'm looking at where they are in the on the circuit now. How have they lapped so far in this one? I think they've lapped everyone up to where Adam Sanz and Abel Sanchez are. So
I believe
Abel Sanchez
correct,
is
yes.
Yeah, so it's only the top 30 who are on the lead lap so far, but don't be at all surprised to see that come down to something like the top 20 because of all the action we have seen at the present moment.
Now, as you can see, well, yeah, we're not quite out of the. I got the top 25 up there, and they're all still on the. Well, nice little battles here. This little battle here has been shaping up with Gutierrez and Caruso.
Good dice all round between these so far, between the Spaniard and the Italian. We're now right on board with Gutierrez, who is going to be looking to attack Caruso by the end of the straightaway, for him to make his move over at turn 10A. And there is a button marker, I think, who is looking to get out of the way. Unless I'm mistaken.
Jumped up here real quick. It looked like these two were about to do a little passing action there real quick.
Yeah, and that's a back marker in front of him who will be getting in the way. Max Giacchino further back in P7, having a stronger run compared to last week. He's now behind Scott Taylor and Robert Ridgway. Oh, and someone's left some tyre smoke further up ahead.
Yeah, this is. I'm trying to figure out who that was.
At the top of the hill and down again are Stu Milne and Mark Almanza, who is hoping he can build on last week. Looking at where Almanza ended up in the first race, he ended up 37th, so he came away with some points in the end. But he's having a better run here, and he got on heavy on the curve. I don't know if he ever got distracted by the back marker that he was navigating through, and it's going to come together. That's going to be contact. It was always going to be contact between him and Stu Milne. I'm amazed that no one else has been collected.
Yeah, well, I was going to say we're not done yet, but man, that was a mess there.
Yeah, and Stu Milne's got damage, so he'll need to pit in at the end of this lap. So that's his race compromised there. Here are the leaders, though, who are going through the S's once more. Fulliger and Nagler. Fulliger's back in the lead again, Jim.
Yes, they've been. Every time we flip away, they decide to change the lead.
as they come out of the S's and down towards turn number 6. Fulliger's holding on here at the moment, and they've coped well in this situation, have Fulliger and Nagler, considering all of the drama we have seen at the present moment.
I'm going to go back and look at this exchange right here. These two. Look at this.
That was very much an after you moment there from Nagler, who lets Fulliger through into the lead once more, as we are approaching half race distance here at Road Atlanta. Stu Milne has made his way back into the pit lane now. Hopefully it'll be a fast repair job on his machine. Max Chiquino in P7 has now got is it Tony Jimenez on his tail? No, no, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. No,
no.
Max Chiquino is behind Scott Taylor. Tony Jimenez,
Correct.
in regards to the gap between those two, is like another 3.5 seconds. So Jimenez has some ground to make up.
Back here at some of these guys, Richard Van Veen, Ludwig Ransong.
Now, Ranson's one of those recovering off that spin on the second lap, Jim, if you remember.
Yep, right.
Where is he now in the field?
Oh, 25th.
Ludwig Ranson, 24.
24th, yeah.
Yeah, so he's recovered very, very well in this one. And he's now going to the outside here of Matthew Gracie, I believe. No, sorry, that's Richard Van Veen who's running in 25th. Yep. He's attacking Ludwig Ranson. Ranson has got a bit of ground to make up, I think, on Matthew Gracie. It's something like 4 seconds that he needs to make up at this point. But this is still another sterling drive from Ranson. We often see this from Ranson when he's tripped over himself.
Yes.
And then he just comes back and salvages a better result than expected.
It does kind of, I don't know, for lack of a better term, kind of inspiring to drive harder, better, you know, faster. I don't know. I mean, that's sometimes that's, you know, sometimes you got to challenge yourself. Looking at some of these big movers we were talking about earlier. Look at some of these people, man. Up 27 spots. Patrick Rowland.
Yeah, that's Patrick Rowland's up that many. We've also got Paul Distelli up 24 positions. Asia Lopez, Giovanni Solito, and Eric Scaldaferri are up 22 places each. Marek Ortlovs is the latest driver to have some form of drama because he's dropped down a few positions on the timing tower. Justin Fields also now has a slowdown to his name, and there's a car spun ahead of the pack there. Don't know who that is. Is that
Alsmina, I think.
Well, Marius Anderson, who was up running in the top 10, has gone down the order now as well.
Yeah, it could be that. Let's see.
This is Mark Almanza. He's going to probably drop this by himself yet. So he drops it, but recovers it, and no damage
not a bad job, really. And here's the Anderson incident.
Got the curb again. They did Almanza, and the concrete barrier was enough to put him out.
Yeah, that's right.
So the drivers we've lost from this race so far: James Roche, Adam Talsma, Jose Legignana, George Taylor, Kevin Byland, Andy Flint, Joe De Blanco, Edwin Gonzalez also out, Kuchi Ito, Eunice Amel has also gone no further, Adam Sands, Max Bartolotta also retiring from the race. Michael and well, we could maybe find out exactly what happened to Max Bartolotta. Marek Ortlovs has also gone back into the pit lane. Oh, dearie me.
Spot. Golly, that the entrance, turn 5 there, man, coming off the exit of turn 5. Those bumps, if you get out there in these cars, it tosses these cars around. You can do that in a sports car, you know, but not in these things.
That's a shame for Max Bartolotta, who's out of the race now.
Change for the lead up here? No.
Well, Nick Nagler is actually in the lead.
Oh, yeah.
We'll go to live images in a moment. Brad Fulliger's now in second place. Krish Patel is still not able to get the gap down on these. So it's like a free-for-all for Nagler and Fulliger. As we see one of the lapped cars come out of the pit lane. And I think someone else has just dropped down the order considerably. Oh, Who's that in the barrier there?
I think that might have been a lap car.
I think you're right, yeah. I was thinking it might have been one of the leaders. It's not.
No, it was right in front of the leaders or right around the leaders.
And Patel is getting by the back marker, who's getting on the grass. I'm surprised he didn't really go to the other side of the track to be doing that, in all honesty.
I think this was it. Let me see. No, this one.
No, this is Marcello Caruso at turns 10A and B, who's probably going to do something other drivers have done. Yep, he's ended up in the barrier as well. That's a shame for Caruso, because he was running in the fringes of the top 10 before he ended up putting the car in the barrier.
Something has just happened to Gutierrez as well. Guys up here they're tossing each other around, and Chris Patel's still not gaining on them. They are so fast.
Yeah, it's Matthew Gracie and Richard Van Veen, I think, are the next baton markers. I might be wrong with that, but they are going to go. You just see Nagler taking the runoff area after riding the bumps, and now ahead of him in the field are Matthew Gracie and Richard Van Veen. Nose to tail. Sorry, not Richard Van Veen. We'll get more on that.
Tasky, huh?
It might well be Tasky, but he's a long way down compared to where we normally see him.
Now they are struggling. I won't say struggling, but they're certainly having to work to get through these lap cars. Oh,
that's Tasky. Oh, that was a cut across from whoever that was that just allowed the leaders to go on by, and Tasky just went off the ground and into the barrier.
All right, this is what happened there.
So we have an onboard, maybe that could. Oh, here's a better angle. I think the car ahead was just taking his line. I think Tasky just didn't react in time. I think he could have reacted better to that, in all honesty.
Yeah, well, he was certainly a lap down at that point.
And just a shout out to Jim Jacks, who is coming into the live chat, and Barry as well, saying any team is the best. Well, there are many sister teams in the field under the Alien Team guys. But now we're looking at Tony Jimenez, who's in P8. He's been there for a period of time now, but at least he's had him a better in the race than some are. He's now got Scott Taylor and Max Cicchino. Sorry, that's Scott Taylor, who's now behind a back marker, who should be getting out of the way.
You can see there, as part of our team competitions this year, we'll be able to show you where the two teammates here are running. Got Jimenez in 8th place right now, and Gutierrez, I think, running in 11th back there. So they're having a nice showing right now.
The hill, the leaders again. Nagler had a full go once more, 7 seconds clear over Chris Patel, who has got no one to fight with at the moment. Neither has Stefan Dodderer. Now Dodderer has come through the field rather nicely from 11th to 4th, which is a strong drive from Dodderer. Now he ended up on the pit straight in Interlagos when he collided with someone, which put him out on the spot. But here he is, though, just remaining out of trouble and navigating his way through the traffic.
Man, these new liveries some of these guys are running this year are fantastic.
They're beautiful, aren't they?
They are, man. This is a great one from Dodderer here.
We'll go back to the battle between Taylor and Jimenez, because that's one of the closest we've got in the field. And there they are, look. That's Taylor, who I think has reached a little bit of a gap on Jimenez now. Patrick Rowlands, I'm going to give another shout out to. He's now up to 17th position after starting 48th on the grid. A tremendous drive, and he's not done yet.
31 spots. Let's take a look at what that looks like over the course of the race. Look at this, just a steady, slow progression up we're at lap 24, 25 now. The slow, steady climb through the field. What a fantastic drive he's on right now.
Yeah, it's been a super effort from the Australian, or New Zealander, I should say.
Yes, New Zealander. I know the difference now.
Have you found the difference?
Yes, yeah, it's the dot. There's the star under the British-looking part of the flag.
Yeah. because there's 4 states in New Zealand, whereas in Australia there are 6. Hence why on the Australian flag there are 6 white stars, and New Zealand has 4 red ones.
Well, there you go. See, I didn't even know that. Look, got action up here. Go.
And this is Fulliger and Nagler. Fulliger taking over leadership once more, with just over 12 laps remaining, so not too long left in the race now for those still in the race.
You look at Fulliger's timeline there; it's been pretty consistent. It's been first or second the entire race.
Yeah, that's Rowland's the lap.
P2. That's pretty funny.
So only the top 16 are on the lead lap now, as far as I am aware. That's a change of position. That's Taylor going through on one of the back markers. Oh, and that's the barrel roll. That's a barrel roll further back. I don't know who it was that just absolutely went bouncing across the circuit over the grass. Was it Rowland's? No, it can't be Rowland's. This is Rowland's here, who's going through the S's. Oh, please don't tell me he's gone over the bumps and lost it.
Almost, but he hung on to it there.
Yeah, he hung on to it there.
Oh, maybe.
Some of which Scott Taylor was lapping.
Oh,
this is not it either.
No, it's another incident though. Yeah, I don't know. I wish I knew.
Oh, that was an unsafe rejoin.
Oh, that was bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was not very good at all. Don't like that.
I really don't see it. I think this is...
Yeah, it will be. Well, this is Scott Taylor here. That's a car spinning in front of them.
Oh, there it was back there.
Yeah, that was just in the background, yeah.
Wow.
I'm looking on the timing tower to see who it might have actually been.
I don't see who that was.
I was thinking it might have been Richard Van Veen or someone like that. But either way, that was a very shocking chain of events, and John McKenzie's the latest to have gone into the barrier now as well. So McKenzie down the order there. Filippo Casey behind him is still going in 34th, which will become 33rd in a moment. That tells you about the number of cars left in this race. We've lost over 20 as far as this event is concerned. And there we see Fulliger and Nagler battling for the lead again. Nagler remaining in front for the time being.
What an absolutely fabulous battle this has been all race. Literally all race long.
This has been the emphasis of the race. These two.
Oh, for sure. 100%, yeah.
If Annette was in this race, he'd have been shooting off into the distance.
If these two were behind him, he would have been for sure. Because they have been battling. To me, it's shocking that Patel hasn't been able to catch them, and he's been pretty much running in clean air. I really would have thought with his speed that he would have been able to run them down.
You just see the leaders just riding the curbs again. Stu Milne has ended up back in the pits as well, with some form of repair job needing to be done. There they are, the leaders going through another one of the back markers. They've got a little bit of a gap before they get to the next one. But Nagler is holding on again and looking strong for his first win of the season. He finished 5th last week. And Brad Fulliger, he ended up 6th in that race. So Fulliger will want to do his utmost to get back through. I think he's going to go to the outside again on Nagler at the end of the straight. And Nagler allows him to take the line and go on through.
Yeah, this has just been a position swapper all night, which is great. You know, that certainly makes for exciting broadcast when you have the leaders changing spots like this.
We've not got long left in the race. 9 to go here at Road Atlanta. We've entered the last quarter of this. And as it stands, it's Chris Patel who'll be leading the Drivers' Championship. There we see Luca Ferrani making up for lost time after he was involved in some form of first lap shenanigans. He's running in 22nd position. He's got by Matthew Gracie, and the next driver he's going to be going after is Peruzzo Legarza, who is a long way up the road. He's run about 15 seconds for Luca Ferrani to make up.
Yeah, and these two here have been kind of closing the gap up on each other.
That's a car going over the curb there. That's Justin Fields, who's done a tremendous job in this race so far.
Yep. Up 8 spots. In the top 10. Nice run.
Nice run from Justin Fields. He's got Tony Jimenez. Well, Tony Jimenez has dropped back from him now, so Jimenez is now behind Fields. He's a long way ahead of Clark Williams, so I don't see Jimenez dropping further down the field from where he is now. There are the leaders going through back markers again. I think that was Dorian Arroyo, who's having a very, very strong drive in 15th position. This is a higher. This is the highest I think we've seen Dorian Arroyo from as far as I can remember seeing racing this.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, this is really a great run for him. Top 15 right now, and potentially even maybe not a lot more spots to be made here, unless without incidents happening.
Now we look at Ortega, who has Robert Walton in front of him. Robert Walton running in 26th position. These are 2 laps down on the leaders, and they'll be hoping for this race to be over very, very soon, considering what we've seen. Scott Taylor's now behind Tony Jimenez. I think he had a slowdown, hence why he's behind Jimenez. In worst case scenario, I think Taylor will end up in P9, subject to any more misfortunes from others. Nick Nagler's in the lead again, Jim, and Brad Fulliger is just having to settle it. Oh, where's Fulliger gone? He's dropped back. It looks like he's made a mistake on this lap.
Does. I'm showing an off track.
This is Jimenez.
Yeah.
Now Scott Taylor who went on through. Taylor was serving that slowdown. Well, Fulliger's in second place, and I think that mistake may have just prompted him to take it easy from here and bring it home.
Well, I don't know. I would love to see. I wish I could figure out what that was. I do not see anything from him that shows you an off track or anything.
He's carried on his way. Another driver I'm going to give a shout out to is Eddie Amos, who's running in P12 after starting 29th. Here is what's been going on. That's Nagler going through on Fulliger. I think further on, round about where turn 1 or turn 2 is, Jim, that's where Fulliger has his issue.
Well,
was it the back markers who got in the way? I hope not.
Yeah, this is the only thing I could find that showed up on any incident thing at all. Yeah, I mean, he lost, he's back down to 3 seconds, but that's a pretty significant loss. I wonder if it's going into turn 5.
It might well have been. Let's have a look. This is on a previous lap. So it's not this lap where Fulliger made his error. It's later on in the race where he's been suffering that. By the way, Nagler is in the lead again and looking good for victory.
Yeah, he's got 3 seconds now.
I can't see Fulliger getting back into it, Jim, to be honest with you. I think he's accepting the fact that error, I think, has consigned him to a second place finish, which he'll happily take.
Yeah, I mean, you certainly, and it's a great win for Nagler if he holds on here with 5 more laps to go. Well fought, though. I mean, those guys battled for, 75–80% of this race.
Luca Ferrani's now on the tail of Legarza for 21st position. Now, Legarza's having to serve a slowdown here, so this should be easy enough for Ferrani's going through. Legarza's got rid of that slowdown now, so Ferrani's going to have to really attack him if he wants to take that 21st place away from him. He has got time to make his move. This is one of the most experienced drivers in the field. I think he may be one of the admins of the league, actually.
Oh, yeah, he definitely
Luca Ferrani.
Yes.
And he's made light work of Legarza on the straight, so that is Ferrani through into 21st place. He's got 14 seconds to make up on the next car ahead of him. And the next driver which he'll need to pass is Hachi Cabasuelo, who's up from 41st place on the grid to 20th. This has been a really good drive from one of the Comunidad Alien Team Omega drivers.
Yeah, that's another fantastic run for him.
Oh, and then Ferrani going well wide through one there. Oh, he cut across on the Gaza. I think he went for a gap that wasn't there for him. And so the Spaniard goes round. And he's gone back into pit lane. Oh, no, he hasn't. Sorry, he's behind Matthew Gracie. But yeah, I think the Gaza just went for a gap that wasn't there. Yeah, Ferrani didn't do anything wrong, I don't think.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Ferrani can carry on his way. Tony Jimenez, who has Scott Taylor on his tail again. Best lap of the race in this one has been from Brad Fulliger with a 1 minute 12.3. Narrowly quicker than Chris Patel, who's posted a 1:12.319, which is 4 thousandths slower than what Fulliger had produced in the race. In fact, Patel posted his best lap on the previous tour, now that the fuel has been burnt off.
Yeah, that makes sense. The lighter these cars get, but I tell you what, the lighter these cars get too, the worse they're going to react to those bumps on the exit of turn 5. If you get out there too far with a light fuel load in these cars, it'll really send them bouncing around.
The top 14 are on the lead lap as we speak. Giovanni Solito is about to be lapped by the leader, Nick Nagler. And then we look at Scott Taylor, who has Tony Jimenez in front of him. There is Giovanni Solito, who's come through from 3rd to 8th on the grid to 14th. Now, I wonder if he'll allow the leaders, unless the lead's already gone through. I think the leader might have already gone through. So,
Nagler has lapped. Back. I thought he was back here by Gracie.
No, Gracie's there. Gracie's already been lapped in this race. Nick Nagler has put a lap on Solito now, so the next driver he'll be lapping, if he has enough time to catch him, is Eric Scaldaferri, who's having a strong performance again. The American running in 13th position. He's going after Eddie Amos, who's a long way up.
Yeah, that's he might catch him and see. Still time to get up there.
Marit Ortlovs, who's already been in the wars in this race, running in 29th. Dorian Arroyo, 15th position, has got Paul Distelli next behind. Can he go defensive and hold him off here? With there being only 2 laps to go when they go over the line. They've already been lapped, these, so they'll do 1 lap less. Nick Nagler, he's managing the gap on Brad Fulliger now, on his way to his first win of the season. He took the title in the last campaign despite winning only 1 race, which came at Indianapolis.
Yeah, he had a great run last season. I mean, just the picture of consistency. Incredible. I think he had 6 or 7 second place finishes.
Well, there is Distelli chasing Solito. Oh, Arroyo, sorry. But now we look at Jimenez, who's going after Justin Fields. He's running about 10 seconds off Max Giacchino. He's hardly had anyone to fight with throughout a lot of this. But there we look at Taylor, 9th position. Clark Williams on course for a top 10 finish, which he will happily take as well.
Yes.
Nick Nagler has started his penultimate lap of the race, and he's on his way to a brilliant win here at Road Atlanta around this 2.5 mile course.
Good steady climb for Clark Williams to the field. Just nice steady gains. Great finish, up 11 spots.
Well, he is on the last lap now. Here's Nagler, and he's looking ever so comfortable. And there is one more back marker he might try and go on through. That'll be Eric Scaldaferri. Nagler goes over the bump. There is Scaldaferri in the foreground. I don't think he's going to have enough time, but he doesn't need to be dealing with Scaldaferri. He's got 2.5 seconds in hand over Brad Fulliger, who is on course for 2nd place. But it's this man who has had the dice with Fulliger throughout this and is about to take a well-deserved win around this notorious racetrack of Road Atlanta, which has caught out a lot of drivers in this. And Fulliger is eagerly awaiting the checker fight to come out now as he heads through turns 10A and B for the last time. And then it's a sprint through turns 11 and 12. And it's the line there for the man in your picture. Nick Nagler wins at Road Atlanta in the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League. First win of the season, with Brad Fulliger in second place. And it's Chris Patel, who is the new championship leader by coming home in P3 ahead of Stefan Dodderer as Dorian Arroyo runs wide on the exit turn 10B and is passed by Paul Distelli. And he gets over line in 16th position. Nevertheless, a good result for Arroyo. Stefan Dodderer 4th ahead of Robert Ridgway and Max Chiquino, with Justin Fields, Tony Jimenez and Scott Taylor are about to head over the line shortly. There is Taylor. There we look at Clark Williams. A good performance from him tonight. P10 and remaining on the lead lap. And we've got Miguel Gutierrez, Eddie Amos and Eric Scaldaferri, who will be the last drivers on the lead lap. And then it is Giovanni Salito down a lap in 14th as we wait patiently for the rest of those to cross over the line.
Good run by Amos tonight. You know, you have to give him his credit. He's up how many spots? 17 spots to finish in 12th tonight. Good finish. Yeah,
great finish that from Eddie Amos, making some good points in the end. I think everyone has crossed over the line now, Jim, so we can run down on today's race result here at Road Atlanta. And in the end, it is Nick Nagler who is the winner, with Brad Fulliger in second place, Chris Patel in third position, followed by Stefan Dodderer, Robert Ridgway fifth, ahead of Max Chiquino and Justin Fields, with Tony Jimenez, Scott Taylor and Clark Williams rounding out the top 10. Miguel Gutierrez in P11, followed by Eddie Amos, Eric Scaldaferri in 13th position, with Giovanni Salito, the first of the lapped cars, in 14th. Then we've got Paul Distelli, Dorian Arroyo, Abel Sanchez, Mark Almanza, Patrick Rowlands, and Hachi Cabasuelo, rounding up the top 20. Luca Ferrari recovering to 21st place, and it's Matthew Gracie, Patricio Lagarza, and Eitan Lammers, who came home in 24th position. Then it's Shelter Yokobori and Juan Jose Ortega, Asia Lopez, Robert Walton, Mario Odlovs, and Federico Casey finished the race 3 laps down in 30th position. And we've got Tony Moreno, who did not make it to the end of the race. The rest of those that didn't make it to the end were Stu Milne, John McKenzie, Patrick Williams, Marcello Caruso, Paul LeMay, Richard Van Veen, Ludovic Ranson, Mehmet Taski, Pedro Galisteo, Marius Anderson, Michael LeMay, Max Bartolotta, Adam Sands, Eunice Amal, one of the big hitters that dropped out, Kuchi Ito, Edwin Gonzalez, Jerde Blanco, Andy Flint, Kevin Byland, George Taylor, Hosu Lochijana, Adam Talsma, and James Rush.
Wow, there was a lot of cars that didn't finish that race. You don't think of Road Atlanta as being brutal, but it sure took a toll on this field tonight, didn't it?
Yeah, 30 out of 54 making it to the end.
Yeah, that's, wow. This you definitely don't think of this place as being that kind of track, but it sure was today. See you top 3 there.
No, and I think this is going to be an interesting season with the level of the grid that is around, and we'll find out soon of when they next race, which is at the Red Bull Ring.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
That's going to be
great.
I should think so as well. Jim, your last thoughts before we end.
Another fantastic evening of racing here with iGPFun. Always huge fields, a lot of action, good passing. Just another, these things never disappoint, though. I get excited to do this race every single week. I love these guys and gals over here, and just racing is always good, always fun.
Yeah, always fun indeed. This championship never fails to disappoint. And if you weren't disappointed by that, make sure you do like and subscribe, and that way you can keep up to date with everything that's happening in this series, with all the races we've got lined up for you, as well as everything in the other leagues. Of course, me and Jim will be on air tomorrow for a championship involving radicals. So at the end, it was Nick Nagler who won the duel over Brad Fulliger, and so he kickstarts his season pretty much in a way of which he can defend his crown over the others. Chris Patel is the new championship leader by coming home in third place. That's 2 podiums from 2 races so far this season. Let's hope he can keep that up at the Red Bull Ring. And it's time for us to close it out, and it's been a good race. And of course, will we see more of it in 7 days' time at Red Bull Ring? Well, you know where to tune in. I am Tom Cairns with Jim Cunningham and we'll speak to you again soon when the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League returns. And it's good night.